Hi, guys, and happy Wednesday. So, when diving into these conversations about dating and relationships, I realized how much sex is an emphasis um, on the success or failure of a relationship. Now, don't get me wrong, sex is important in marriage. Sex is important. It binds you together, it connects you, it creates, the soul tie. It does what it's supposed to do. It makes you one with each other and with God. Like, that is the purpose of sex. But when I read comments like, what if the sex is terrible? Do I keep moving on till I find that one? That is concerning because I feel like, and I've talked to elders, like if the sex is bad and that makes you not want to be with that person, to me, that means that you just didn't have a deeper connection with them in the beginning. Like, if you are connected to your partner spiritually and emotionally, and you have those intimate moments with each other before sex is even involved, then I feel like if you do get married and the sex is not as great as you want it to be, then you will be able to have those conversations with your partner so that you can get your sex on track. So you can figure out what they like, what they don't like. What is it that's whack about it? Like, I just feel like there are ways you can fix that if you are connected with someone on a deeper level. Like, if I am in love with someone because I love their heart and their soul and their spirit, if the sex is whack, it shouldn't be a deal breaker to the point where I'm like, well, yeah, I'm out. If it's something you don't want to work on, then yeah, I get it. But I feel like if you are both connected and you were on, like I was saying, if you get on the same plane at the same time and you both are in love with each other, with the intent to do ministry and to make your marriage work and to just move forward with God. And if God is the center, then everything else will work. Like, if the man I marry wants to leave me because he doesn't like having sex with me, then he'll leave me when I get pregnant and I'm not attractive to him, or if I'm pregnant, I don't feel like it, or if I'm going through a hormonal change and my body is doing something weird, I don't feel like having sex, or if you are not connected on a level that's deeper than intercourse, then that person will leave you for anything. Then they're not tied to you. They're not bound to you. They don't love you if sex and it being good or terrible is weighs that heavy on the relationship. Granted, like I said, it's important, but I feel like if it is that important for you and for each other, then you will work at it with anything else in your relationship, with your marriage, with your communication. You'll have to work at that. Like, every part of marriage is going to take work on both ends. So why is sex something different? Why is sex something that people feel like, well, if it ain't good, then I'm out? Like, I don't understand what the difference is. Like, is it because it's physical? Is it because you get pleasure? Like, I don't know. I can't speak on it because I'm not married and I haven't been in a marriage with whack sex. That's not my story, and I pray that it's not when it happens. But if there is something where we're just not, I don't know, if something just ain't right with it, I just pray that it will be something that we could overcome together and that we could work towards coming to a resolution together. And I just feel as like people who are quick to dip out if the sex is bad will dip out when anything comes along. What if you get breast cancer and you have to get your breast removed? What, like, I just think about all those things. Like, will that person be with you through thick and thin, through hell or high water? Like, will they stick by you when times get hard, when times get rough, if you go broke? Like, I just feel like a person who will leave you so quickly because of something like the sex not being good, they'll leave you for anything. I just think it's a character thing. I think it's a integrity thing. I just feel like that is just the person that they are, and they may not be marriage material, but I would just pray that for anyone who has gone through this or is going through this, that if sex is a issue in your marriage, that you will work together to fix it, that you won't go to outside sources, that you won't go to outside things, that you won't go to porn, that you know what I'm saying, won't go to strip clubs or other people. I pray that you will get it together to work together to fix it, because I just I think that sex is important and it needs to be cultivated like anything else in a relationship. You have to learn to communicate. You have to learn to love each other the way you want to be loved. Like, the love languages. Like, if you don't know your partner's love language, how do you love them properly? My love language is, my main one is quality time, but when you're a quality timer, you kind of encompass all of them together. But like acts of service and physical touch are like neck and neck at number two. Having someone that understands that, you know, it helps me to fall in love with them even more. If you understand how to love me properly when it doesn't involve sex, like if you know each other's love languages and you know how to love each other properly, then those little things lead up to having great sex. I've talked to married people and they always say sex starts before the bedroom. Sex starts with the text message in the morning. It starts with the note, in the lunchbox. It starts with it's not just, oh, let's get home, boom, bam, bing. It starts with things that are done before the bedroom stuff even happens. You know what I mean? So if your partner is, quality time, they want to spend time with you, they want to be around you, they want undivided attention, not texting while they're talking to you. Physical touch doesn't have to be sexual. It could be holding hands. It could be, I'm sitting next to you and my hand is on your lap. I'm holding your hand. My arm is around you. I'm hugging you. Words of affirmation. You need someone to affirm you. You need someone to uplift you. You need someone to speak and edify you, to speak life into you. Acts of service. Oh, look, my phone's about to die and it's on the charger and I didn't ask him to do that. Oh my gosh, that's so sweet. Little things like that. Oh my God, is my car washed? Whatever it is that you like people to do for you, for them to just do it without asking. Gifts. Oh, you thought about me. And it doesn't have to be anything expensive. It's just, oh my gosh, you thought about me. You know I like XYZ and you picked it up because you saw one. And words of affirmation, physical touch, quality time, acts of service, and gifts. Those are the 5 love languages. And that, I think, is just really important to know when you are dating someone and when you get married. But usually people like to show love in their love language. And that's how a lot of people get messed up, because if your love language is words of affirmation, you're going to keep affirming somebody and their love language is acts of service. And they're like, stop affirming me. Go do something. Go rake my leaves. Like, that's what they want. But you're over here affirming them and you're like, I don't want that. I don't need that. That's not what, that doesn't do anything for me. So I think when people understand the love languages of their partner, that helps to also create a deeper level of intimacy, because you are learning how to effectively love each other. If you're like, and with your children, this is a sidebar, with your children, usually their love languages are different for both parents. They have a kids one, like a teen and a kid one too. And my son's love language for his dad is words of affirmation, and his love language for me is gifts. So I gotta buy him stuff for him to feel loved. But his dad has to be like, I'm proud of you, son. But back to the whole sex thing, yeah, I just feel like if you're with somebody and they feel like they have to test drive the car before you guys get married, then they're going to want to test drive stuff after you get married. It doesn't guarantee you having a good relationship, because I've been sexual with people who weren't, never mind not my husband, they weren't even my boyfriend, and it just brings up a lot of other stuff. Like, once you become sexual with someone and you start to have that soul tie, it starts to bring up a lot of feelings and a lot of emotion. And when you don't have a solid commitment from someone, it will bring out the crazy. Like, all the types of things start to come up because you've now awaken something in you, and now you're more connected to that person, and you want a deeper level of commitment, and they may not, and now you're over here crazy girl or crazy guy, and because it happens on both sides, um but it's because you've given yourself over sexually to someone who was not ready to commit to you. And so when you do that, you are now allowing your spirit and your soul to be open to someone who does not want to commit to you, who has not made a vow to you, and now you have given them a piece of you, and you cannot get that back. Of course, you can pray the soul ties away and stuff, but it's a hard ripping and tearing of your soul and of your spirit. And it's something you could have avoided if you just waited to have sex until that person committed to being your husband or your wife, and then you made a covenant between you and God. Because once you make that covenant between you and God, that soul tie is supposed to be there. And granted, I know folks get divorced and all that, but we ain't talking about all that. I'm talking about waiting, saving yourself for marriage, and making sure that that person wants to be committed to you fully, spiritually, emotionally, physically. And if that person is not ready for that, if you don't know if they want to marry you, then why do you want to give them your most precious piece of you? Like, you should not want to get, like, you are allowing, especially women, you are allowing men to enter into you, and now they're just in your spirit. You've connected yourself to them, and now you have given yourself a piece of yourself, and they're like, yeah, but no, I don't. Oh no, I don't want a girlfriend, wife. What? Like, and you're sitting there like, but I gave myself to you, and he's like, yeah, but I didn't. I never said I wanted to be in a relationship, and I think that happens so much. So we just have to be more cognizant of the people we are dating, of the people we are letting court us, because if they are not, like, from the get-go, you should know what their intentions are. If their intentions are not to pursue you in a way that leads to something, then why are they with you? I'm not trying to be out here dating for 5 years and we still don't know what we are. I'm 40, almost 41. So I'm really not about to be out here dating for a whole long time, and for you to figure out if you like me or not. But even if you're young, you're in your 20s and your teens, they these men and these women, if it's the boys watching, they are not worth you giving yourself over to someone who does not want to commit to you, who does not want to be with you, and who only wants to have sex with you. Because sex is a grown folk thing, it's a grown folk decision, and it's grown folks out here doing crazy stuff because they've given themselves over to somebody and that person has broken their heart. They don't want to be with them, or they have just disconnected from them. They got what they wanted and they moved on. So we have to guard our hearts, guard our bodies, guard our spirits. Like, be picky about, we are picky about the selfies we post. Be picky about the penises you're putting in your body, or the vaginas you're let being on your penis. By the time I get married, I know that that man will be in love with me no matter what, thick, thin, um, sickness, health, all the things that the that the whatchamacallit say, the vows say. Love yourself enough to know what you deserve, and that you deserve to be loved properly and loved the way Christ loved the church and loved to the maximum capacity that that person can. And if their capacity is small, then that is not the best. That is not God's best for you. I just want to just keep having open and honest conversations about these things, because people don't want to talk about it, especially in the church. But guess what? I rather my kid learn about sex in the church than learn about it in the street. Yeah, let's be more mindful. Let's govern our bodies and ourselves accordingly, and wait for God's best. Wait and pray for what the Lord has, because He has the best for all of us. And I think we don't get our best because we jump too quickly and too soon. And if we just wait on who God has for us, then He's going to blow our mind, and the sex will be amazing. In Jesus' name. Amen. Okay. I love you guys, and I'll talk to you tomorrow with DIY.